right, guys, rise and shine. Good morning. Welcome to the SkyPoint call every single Tuesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And once again, welcome. Mark it on your calendars, guys. We do this for you guys, right? To hear other insights from new agents that are doing well, agency owners who are thriving, and so we can get nuggets. And today we have our own special, Mr. Zeke Torres. Zeke, how are you?
Awesome, my brother. Awesome. Thank you for having me on the call, brother. Very excited to share some stuff with the team.
Awesome, man. So let's dive into it. You know, Hall of Fame producer, over 600 families last year, cleaned up Hall of Fame real early. So the people who don't know you, why don't you give us an introduction, how you started, where you started before, you know, maybe some differences between your prior IMO and now. The floor is yours.
Appreciate it. Zeke Torres, been with FFL going on a year and a half now, year and a few months. Started last year of January of 2021. Was just getting my carriers, right before then. My previous experience, I come from a different IMO. I was at a different practice company, what we like to call it, about 7-8 years. And it taught me some stuff, I can't just say it didn't. It taught me some stuff that I'm able to bring over here to FFL. And I'm very grateful for that. And I met a lot of good people over there. But just at the time, it just didn't work. At the end of the day, I was looking for something that really was my own, that I really owned my own business. I really was able to leave a legacy for my family. And when I came over here to FFL and I started looking at FFL more in detail, more in depth, I was vested day one here at FFL. I owned my book of business from day one. I was really able to leave a legacy to my family, and eventually one day able to sell my book of business to integrity. And that's really a goal of mine, and that should be a goal of everybody on this call, because, I came into this industry, knowing that you help a lot of families, you help a lot of families get to where they want to go. And I truly believe you'll be blessed to where you want to go. And that's the motto that I've lived on for a lot since I've been here in the financial services industry. And, is it hard? Absolutely. Anything worth fighting for is going to be hard. There's going to be a battle. There's going to be, and what's crazy about when I say there's going to be a battle, it's going to be a battle with you. You're going to have a battle with yourself. You're going to question your a lot of things that you're learning, that you're doing, that you're going through in life. Is it worth it? Is it waking up early? Is it investing on leads? Is it going to the office? Is it worth it waking up early, making those phone calls? What type of battles are you going through? And I know there's a quote that I live by, and I just have it in my heart. And it's like this: is God doesn't give the hardest battles, to his toughest soldiers. He creates the toughest soldiers through life's hardest battles, right? And when I say that is that, hey, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but it's worth it. I always say this: broke is hard as well. Being broke, not having money, not having income is hard, Then I say, choose your hard, choose your hard. Being broke or going after what you want in life in this business, right? And this business is going to smack you right in the face. I love that quote from Mike Tyson. He says, hey, everything's fine and dandy until you get socked in the face, right? And hey, you're going to get socked in the face in FFL, but it's what are you able to get back up? Are you going to stay laying down? Are you going to stay, you're going to get the count 10, right? And I truly believe that all you guys on this phone call, hey, there's a lot of you guys on this call right now, well, all over the country, which is pretty awesome, okay? But now get a reward from it. Just don't get on this call because you have to, or get on this call because, oh, I was on the morning call and that was part of my day. No, start your day off awesome like this. Now do something with it, right? Do something with it, guys. And I'm telling you, FFL has been a game changer for me and my family. It's been a blessing for me and my family. And I've seen the changes in other people on Powerhouse as well, and what it's done for their family. And we're just getting started, Rob. So I appreciate that, brother.
Of course, man. Of course. Love how straight up it is. Come to the point. And I remember this quote that we were talking about, or that we went over, was, family first life, FFL will expose your work ethic. Remember that one? That triggered an emotion for a lot of people, but the reality is it's true, right? Because even though we're self-employed, as Steven says, you can be unemployed real quick, right? So dive into that a little bit, the self-employed mindset in comparison to, the corporate company mindset. How have you been able to structure yourself, stay disciplined on that self, and keep reminding yourself that, hey, it's in your hands?
Absolutely. I'll just say this. I've been on, we'll say, compensation commission base for about half my career in my life, right? So I've had to educate myself. I had to get better at myself, my mindset, and making sure, see, a lot of people, when they come to FFL, or even if they come to a commission-based business, okay, they bring their old habits with them that they were at a corporate job. Okay, they're coming in here with the employee mindset. Like, they're still waiting for people to tell them what to do, right? But at the exact same time, I don't know if you guys heard of this gentleman called Robert Kiyosaki, right? Robert Kiyosaki has this thing called the 4 cash flow quadrants. And one box on the top is an employee. The second box on the bottom is a self-employed. The third box on the top is a business owner. And the fourth box on the box is an investor. Okay. When you're coming over to commission-based business, okay, we got to take your mindset from being an employee, okay, and to not only a self-employed, because if you're self-employed, that means you just bought yourself a business, okay? That means that you cannot go nowhere, you cannot travel nowhere, because if you remove yourself from that business, your business doesn't make any money. We need to transform your mindset and your mentality over to the business side, where a business has a system that runs your business, okay? So that if you remove yourself, we'll say like McDonald's has a system, right? But they got 16, 18, 19-year-old people running their business. Why? Because there's a system at McDonald's that the owner is able to remove himself from being there, but the business continues to run. That's the mindset that we need to bring to FFL. We need to remove your employee mindset and put your business hat on. And I've been able to do that for the last, 15 years of my life, because I know what I want. And I know being an employee, don't get me wrong, being an employee is good to be started, to have maybe some money, foundation to pay your bills and stuff. But I believe if you want to grow something, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to have something for you and your family, you gotta come to the business side. You see all the entrepreneurs, man. I don't want to be, I heard this in my life before. It says that if you don't go out there and build your own business, okay, somebody's going to hire you to help build theirs. Okay, somebody's going to hire you to help build their business. And I don't want to be that person to be hired to build somebody else's business. You leave 2 things in life for your family, guys. When the man comes and punches your chicken when you pass away, you're either going to leave your family debt, or you're going to leave them a legacy. You choose which one you're going to leave them. Right. And I choose to leave my family a legacy. And by being a business owner, by building my own business, by building my own brand, I truly believe that's going to help me. And hey, sky's the limit on income. Sky's the limit on potential. Sky's the limit on changing lives. Right. I only can change so many lives being an employee, but I can change millions of lives being an entrepreneur.
I love that. I love that. And we definitely talk about that. You know, it's not just for us here, right? It's the
No,
impact and the
absolutely.
influence you're able to make, right? I remember getting started here, you know, first month helping X amount of families, next month helping an X amount of families. And I'm like, wow, this is real, right? But it felt, my fulfillment was, you know, handing my mom X amount of dollars every month, right? And assisting and moving forward and moving family forward, right? Then you got a year and a half later, you actually have a business for yourself, right? Me and Bruce were talking about this last time. It's like, why continue to put the same hours in and work just as hard or even harder and take exact instructions for another employee? Right? Think about it. We're so disciplined and waking up at a certain amount of time, clocking in at a certain time, at a certain location, in traffic, bumper to bumper, stressed out. But when it comes to here, we self-doubt. We start taking our time. Our foot is off the gas. And it's sometimes just, it's unbelievable to see that it's such a difficult task for so many people.
And you know what's crazy, Rob, is that all our lives, that we don't know this, but growing up, all our lives, we've been conditioned to go and work for a man, to go and work for somebody else. You know, growing up, and it's not wrong to our parents, but our parents have been conditioned as well. See,
Yeah.
society does not groom our children to go and open up a business. As kids, we're groomed to go work for somebody else, go get good education, you know, go find a good job, go get a 401k and retire with a white picket fence, and you know, you go get a good pension, right? That's no longer that dream no more. That's no longer that happening today's society, right? So it's not my grandma didn't educate my mom about money. My mom didn't educate me about money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But me knowing about money, now I got to break that cycle in my family. I believe, you know, I grew up, I have no shame of this. I grew up on welfare for 19 years, my family. You know, my mom was a single mom. My dad left when I was 2 years old. But see, I always say this. I heard a quote one time that says, it's not your fault, okay, if you're born broke, but it is your fault if you die poor, okay? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, that smacked me right in the face. I grew up in the hood. I was born in a different country. I always like to talk about that.
Let us know where.
I was born up in East Oakland, right? East Oakland. And I was raised down in East Riverside. So I went from one east side to another east side, right? But I always say this, it doesn't matter where you come from, is where we're going. You know, it doesn't matter where you were born, it's what's inside of you. I always truly believe that the man upstairs sprinkled a little extra on me when I was born, because I was always a go-getter. I was always going to try something better for my family. I don't know if that's being the firstborn in my life, the firstborn son, and had to grow up very quickly. I had a paper route when I was 10 years old. So I had that work ethic instilled in me at 10 years old. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, fold newspapers, get on my bike and go on a paper route for 2 or 3 hours, come back home. I did that until I was 12. I would go to sleep on the couch for about a good hour, wake up again at 6:30, walk to school, play baseball, football. But my mom just instilled in me a work ethic back then, and I instilled that work ethic in my children. And I just truly believe that, you know, the man upstairs doesn't make mistakes. And I truly believe that he put us here all together at FFL for a reason. And he puts people in your life, guys, remember this. He puts people in your life for either a reason, or he puts your people in your life for a season. And you got to make sure that you know which one those people are in your life for, because they can hinder your growth or they can help your growth. And you got to have discernment which one that they're in your life for, right? And I'm just telling you guys, because I'm just giving you my life experience. I know I don't look like I'm almost hitting 50, but because maybe my beautiful skin, but I'm almost there, right? And I've been around for a while. I've been around, and I'm just giving you some of my insight, guys, because God doesn't make mistakes, guys, and we're all here at a perfect time in our lives. He made us for a time such as this, and I'm just excited to be on SkyPoint. Very blessed to be in FFL. Very blessed to make things happen for my family, because I've seen what it's done for my family already in the past, maybe year and a few months that I've been here, man. So I'm very, very blessed, and it's a blessing, guys.
Love it, love it. So people are in your life for a reason, or people are in your life for a season. Take it. We'll take it, man. And I love how you're talking about your background, right? Because we have the option to drown in that victim mindset and feel sorry about ourselves, or we can really look in the mirror, understand that we're a human being, right? We weren't born as a dog. We weren't born as a tree, as corny as that sounds. Every person on here is a human being with a brain, with a mind, with some sort of wisdom, with the ability to choose left or right, the ability to wake up earlier, the ability to actually work, the ability to self-develop yourself, and as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as somebody in this case, as an FFL agent and business owner. Right now, how are we going to take steps to improve? How are we going to take steps to get us out of our current situation and get closer to the light at the end of the tunnel? Right? Because no matter where you are right now in FFL, every milestone of success that you reach, whether it's VP, SVP, EVP, board member, etc., life gets better, right? Financially and influentially, life gets better. But let's definitely say that more comes with it, right? So the ability to take on more tasks and understand that this is a very selfless business, you got to put others first, is it's actually kind of a beautiful thing. You got to put others first so you can move on, right? So you can get to something greater, which is a beautiful thing. Anything to touch upon that? Yeah,
absolutely. Because I've a lot of people have shared their dreams with me. Like, Zeke, I want to do this, and this is thing that I want to, buy a new home for my family, buy a new vehicle, whatever it is, save more money. Like, I got dreams, but their work ethic doesn't match their dreams, right? Dreams don't work unless you do, right? Dreams don't work unless you do. Like, they can say, I want to do this, I want to do this. Well, how many appointments do you have set up for the week, right? How many leads have you purchased? How many families have you helped, right? How many phone calls have you made? How many travel trips, or how far are you willing to travel to go help some families, right? How many phone calls have you got on with clients? So, like, they say so much that I can't even hear them no more, because their actions do not match their dreams, right? And you gotta have a work ethic that matches your dreams, right? And so I no longer hear what they say, I see what they do. Like, what they're doing is now telling me what really is really inside
in their heart,
right? In their heart, and but at the exact same time, like, I'm truly, like, I feel my wife and I, we're truly blessed with an awesome business partner. I don't even call them a team. Like, we're a family, we're business partners. Like, we're doing life together. Not only are we doing life together, we're also doing business together. And I just want to talk about a couple of people on the team that have been out there making it happen. I'm truly blessed that they're allowed us, my wife and I, very humble to help them whatever we can, like Andres and Ashley, and Evan. They opened up their own office in San Antonio. They're leading their team out there. They're doing amazing things out there. And I just see, like, I'm like, they're really, like, it's their time, it's their season for an explode. They have a beautiful family, an amazing family. And me and my wife, and just love them, and Evan and everybody that opened up the office down there. And they're changing many people's lives because of the decisions that they made.
Correct.
Even though this past year they haven't really seen the fruits of their decision. But I really believe now they're going to go through the season of harvest. They planted the seeds, right? They planted the seeds, the foundation, and they've been watering that for the past year. They've been through some ups and downs in their lives, but I really truly believe that God's going to bless them because of their decisions that they made. JT and Quinn, they're killing it. Oh, they've been one of our rocks as well, one of our foundations out here in California. They're doing amazing things. They're building, they're growing. I've seen a lot of people on our team, Victor, Joe. I could just keep naming the team, right? And I'm just very excited to where they got 1 year under their belt, but now I could just see them flourishing now. And I'm just super excited about that because their dreams and their goals, their actions match their goals and their dreams, right? Those are the people that match their goals and their dreams. Love you, Mama. My daughter's just leaving for school. But anyways, and I'm just truly, truly blessed, guys. And, this is a team thing. This is we're all in this together, right? We're all in, hey, we can't go to the top by ourselves, man. That's what I love about this business. We got to take people with us.
Yep.
Right? We got to drag them to whatever we got to do. We got to take people with us.
Yep.
And I always like to say, remember though, dreams don't work unless you do. Right? And there's another quote that I want to share with you real quick. Okay, it says, "Some things break your heart, but fix your vision."
Mm.
Some things break your heart, but fix your vision. What I say, what do I got to say about that, man? Sometimes you got to. We fought. How many of you guys fell in love before you married your spouse before? How many of you guys fell in love with something else that you shouldn't be falling in love with, right? Sometimes those things got to break you, right, in order to fix your vision. What really are you watching? What really are your goals? What really are you looking for, right? It might be that's like I was talking about Rob about this yesterday. Everything starts with you. Everything you want in life is on the other side of I don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And the great Michael Jackson said, right? Jackson said one time, you got to look at the man in the mirror. You got to look at the man in the mirror, right? And I truly believe that because everything starts with you. Everything truly starts with you. Because if you don't move, nothing else moves. If you don't move, nothing else moves.
That's
right?
facts.
And that's fact. I'm telling you, it's fact, right? It's so 100, right?
And it's the ability, just like what you were touching on, just like your new agents that are coming, the ability to get uncomfortable. They necessarily not wanted to open up an office, but they did it, right? Because when we start changing when we first make a decision, then we start changing our habits. Those habits are going to bring some type of different return back, right? So the ability to get uncomfortable, the ability to open up an office, the ability to do these things will bless you, right? So talking about uncomfortable, let's talk about the traveling, right? So we both had type of different travels. I toured CRM leads on the All-American Tour for 17 weeks straight all around the country and made it happen like that. But anybody who follows you on social media sees how, you're on the road by 2 a.m., a couple times a week and just headed to wherever you're heading. You complete whatever you got to do. You protect a certain amount of families. Then we see 10, 15, 20, 24 families protected in a weekend or a week, right? So give us the mindset. Do you fly? Do you drive? What's the thing about your travel and why is it such a big deal?
See, I've always had a strong work ethic, right? But over here at FFL, they always said, hey, you got to hit Hall of Fame. You got to hit Hall of Fame, right? And I kind of took it a step further. I don't only want to hit Hall of Fame for me. I want to hit Hall of Fame for my team. I want to make sure that my team understands and knows that I'm in the trenches with them, that I got their back, and that I'm not willing to be that person to tell them what to do without me doing it first, right? If they see me in the trenches on the side of the road, they're not just going to drive by. They're actually going to park their car and jump in the trenches with me because they know I've been digging that trench for a long time. That's the type of respect that grows a team. That's the type of unseen respect that is the difference between having a mediocre team and having an awesome team. And I just want to let my team know that, hey, I got their back 100%. I'm willing to lead from the front, right? And I have to do whatever I have to do to make that happen. And if I purchase leads 6, 7, 8, 9 hours away from my house, and those are the only leads that I can really get my hands on, hey, I'm gonna drive to a different state. I'm gonna drive to a different location. And if my first appointment's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and if I gotta leave at 1 o'clock in the morning and be there at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8-hour drive, hey, I gotta get myself to bed at least by 8 o'clock and sleep for at least 3 or 4 hours, get my car gassed up, get my leads prepared, get my laptop and everything powered up, get my leads inside my book, and that's what I have to do. Like I'd rather do that than go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna work hard. Might as well work hard building something for me and my family and all the future agents that are coming on Team Powerhouse. Why not be that example? Why not do that? Like, I'm willing to grind, right? I'm willing to go and do the extra mile because I know it's only for a period of time. I'm not going to be doing that for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. It's only for a period of time, and I'm willing to do that, right? Because I need to fund my business. I want to make sure I have everything in place. I talk to integrity partners, and they say, hey, this is what I did. So if you do this, this is the end result. Well, I'm willing to do what they did so I can have what they have, right? So that's the whole goal. Hey, they said it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat, right? It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And I want to copy the right cat, the integrity partners. And that's where I really want to go. I want to be the example to my team. Because how am I supposed to teach my team something that I've never done?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to teach my team on rebuttals and phone scripts and appointments when I sit down with clients on final expense and all these things if I didn't do it myself, right? Don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of people here that have teams that they say, you need to do this, 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 and they've never done it themselves. Eventually, I'm going to say it again, eventually your work ethic will expose you, either good or bad. Either way, your work ethic is going to expose you because eventually your team's going to really understand what type of leader you are, right? It's going to expose you. So I want to make sure that I go through every scenario as possible that I can learn myself, because I truly believe the better I am is the better my team will be. The better that I am, the better my team will be as far as going through all those rebuttals and life experience. And not only that, there's things that I can't teach my team that they're going to have to go through themselves, because I truly believe that the best thing that they can learn by is through experience.
Yes.
I can't teach experience, right? I can give them the knowledge, but they got to go out there and do the work. They got to go out there and fall flat on their face. But that's when you learn. That means when they fall flat on their face, you know what that tells me? They're trying. Mm-hmm. That fires me up because, man, heck yeah, go fall on your face again because they're trying again, right? And so when they say that they failed, that means the only way that they can succeed is when they fail.
Correct.
Right? And when I see that happen, it fires me up because now I know that they're learning and they're experiencing things that I couldn't teach them. Right? So
correct.
That's why when you travel, I love, just helping families, brother. And I truly believe I'm better. I love virtual. I love, phone calls and stuff like that. But when I sit down in front of a family, they get to feel my heart, and they feel that even though I'm not ready to buy, I don't want to. I said, I'm just here to show you your options. I'm here just to help you out. Look, I'm sitting with you in your, like, when they invite me into their home is a sacred place. They're letting the stranger into their home, their sanctuary, right? And when I feel like
And speak on how important that is as well. Like they're letting you into their home.
look, guys, they're letting you a life insurance agent, knowing that you're coming to their home. But look, these people's home are where they raise their children. Sometimes their kids are still sleeping in bed, or in the morning, or they're getting ready for school, or at night they're already in bed 8, 9 o'clock at night, and they have a stranger sitting at their kitchen table, and you gotta be mindful of that. Like, man, they let me in their home. They're offering me sometimes food. They're offering me drink, water, soda, whatever it is. And you got to be more respectful of that. You got to be more sincere of that. You got to be more mindful of that. Like, man, I'm in their home where their kids are sleeping, where life decisions are made at a kitchen table. And them buying insurance, guys, you believe it or not, is a life decision. Because why? Lord forbid, if that client passes away, you are that person that will deliver that check to that family. You are that person that will deliver that check, when you go bury that person at a funeral. And then how I tell the clients is, look, Mr. and Mrs. Client, not only are you getting this 10, 15, 20, $30,000 in coverage, but it's awesome. But what comes with this policy, I also come with this policy. You also get me. I'll be the one to deliver this at the funeral. Instead of me bringing you flowers, I'm going to be bringing you a check to take care of all of this, right? And once I say stuff like that, and I just be quiet, and I just put my head down, and I just like, man, good thing we're taking care of this, right? Like, absolutely. So how you react and what you say and your tone of voice really makes a big difference when you're helping that family, right?
Yeah.
Because I always truly believe, if I leave that home the same way that I entered that home, without that family having protection, I didn't help that family for nothing. Johnny, Jimmy, and Susie that are sleeping in the bed right now, I didn't take care of their future. Because Lord forbid, if something happens to their parents, they're young. They might go to our foster home. They might go move with a family member, because I didn't take care of I didn't stress enough with their parents why life insurance is so important, right? I'm not only thinking about the parents, I'm thinking about the children that are sleeping in the next room, right? They don't have to leave. They don't have to move schools because the parents lost their home, right? They don't have to. They can grow up with the same kids that they've grown up with and have long life friends, because I was able to protect the mom and dad. Lord forbid, if they passed away, the home would be paid for, and I did my job. So that's my mindset going into a home.
And that's the difference right there on that mindset, right? I think a lot of agents, new agents, or people who have been not running, not helping enough families, I think that mindset is where it lacks, right? And this is true. When I started truly taking the commission breath out and understanding, like, hey, I hear it on the podcast all the time, you need to put the families first, right? Be selfless about that. That truly started changing my production from 20, 25 families a month to 35, 40, 45 families a month. And it's so true. That is what changed, right? You hear it sometimes and you're like, yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I get it. But there's just this thing, it's so true.
It's like this, like, it's so now instilled in me and powerful. Like, I know, like, they feel it. Like, when I go back at the clients, like, no, like, what are you talking about? When I go like firm like that, they're like, dude, this guy's different. This guy's not your average salesperson where they just want to sell a policy to us and make a commission and leave. I give them a great scenario, like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, like, honestly, like, what else do you have in place that will protect your children in case you guys pass away? What other, you got another $100,000 sitting around that I don't have, you didn't tell me about? Is your job going to give you a check to cover your home? What else do you have in place that, Lord forbid, that something does happen to you, that your kids are taken care of? Hey, I have children. I love my kids so much that I'm willing to cut my cable or go out and not only that, cut a dinner once a week to pay for my coverage for my family. That's how much I love my kids. I'll cut out a dinner to, to whatever, so that I can have that extra money to pay for this policy. Look, that's what I would do. And I'd just be quiet. And then mom and dad just talk about it, said, you're absolutely right. Or there's times when they don't purchase with me that day, I leave. The following day, they give me a phone call, Zeke, can you come back? I heard this thing once. It said you got to disturb and then you got to entice them. You got to disturb them. You got to shake them up so much that they're like, oh my God, like he's so right. What are we thinking? What are we doing? And then you entice them with the program. You entice them what you can actually do for them. But you got to shake them up. You got to smack them in the face. But then you also got to be willing to be that hand to reach down and pick them up as well, right? But you got to be that person to smack them around in the beginning, but be also that hand to pick them up and then give them a program or show them a solution for their problem. Because
Correct.
a lot of people have problems, but they're never just shown the solution. And you're that solution to their problems. But you got to make sure that they're willing to accept that from you, And
Yes. So challenging the client in a respectful way, which is a major thing, right? You're doing that in to put them in a better position, because majority of people, especially somebody that they're going to allow in their house, if they gave you that opportunity to be in their home, how are you not going to challenge them? It's for the greater good of everybody, especially for them, right? Because we're sitting with a lot of everyday people, not people that have these massive 401ks, huge savings accounts and all this stuff. The little that they can go to bed on and rest assured that there is some type of backup is the simplified issue business that we have, right? Absolutely. A lot of clients, okay, folks, you need some time to think about it. I understand. The reasoning we're in this position is because we've taken too much time to think. Instead of this $184 option, why don't we go with this $82 option? We can tweak and adjust later. Leave with something. So talk about, especially when you're taking these travel trips, serving the families that you serve, your ability to continue to challenge the client. Why are you so gung-ho on that? Why is that such a thing? And how has that changed your production?
I'll just say this. A few years ago, my wife and I, our family, were going through a financial hardship, right? And we were making it happen. We're still making it happen, and we experienced a loss in our family. My wife's father passed away. Right, my father-in-law passed away, and my father-in-law, bless his heart, man, he had everything in order. Like literally, he had everything in order. His house was paid for. Imagine. He lived in Mexico. He was a professor at a university in Mexico. He taught economics. He taught economics, so he taught money, right? And kind of funny, long story short, I mean, now his daughter is in finance too, which is crazy, right? He probably never thought that was going to happen,
right?
And he had his cars paid for, not brand new cars, home paid for, and he had life insurance that a lot of people didn't think he had. He had a couple $100,000 of life insurance on him that he left to his family. And when he passed away, my wife and our family was a beneficiary of a life insurance policy that helped us get out of the financial situation that we were in.
Wow.
So seeing that and being a personal beneficiary of something like that, and seeing what it did for my wife and seeing what it did for me and our daughters, like, why wouldn't you want to leave something to your family? Why wouldn't you want to leave something? He left a legacy. He left a legacy, man. Like, his funeral was all paid for. Nobody had to come out of pocket for nothing. And I'm like, man, this guy was so awesome, man. Right. And so I want, like, when I go into these homes, sometimes I share this story. Remember, guys, when you go into a home, you got to share your experience. Even if you haven't had a loss in your family, borrow somebody's story, make it your own, borrow somebody's story. So when I go into these homes, I just share the story and I just let them think, ponder upon it. And then I ask them, you know, you're either going to leave your family, like I say, in debt. You're either going to leave your family a policy, a life insurance policy, or a GoFundMe account that they're going to have to do for you. Which one do you want to be on? You want to leave them a life insurance policy, or do you want to leave them a GoFundMe account with your name on it? You choose. And I say that a lot. And they're like, man, I go, how many times have you been to funerals or given money to a funeral for somebody, one of your friends or a family member, because they didn't have everything in place? Oh, a lot of times. I said, okay, do you want to be one of those too? I go, do you want to be one of those? And they're like, no. I said, well, here's your opportunity not to be on one, not to be on a, I always call it a milk carton, because back in the days growing up, there was a missing kids on milk cartons. I said, well, nowadays you're missing some life insurance and you're on a milk carton, you know. So I give them that perspective, and I love helping families. Not only that, my previous IMO I come from is where they I had to wait 3 or 4 months in order for a policy to get approved as well. Over here, bro, we're getting compensated within 24 to 48 hours, right? We're getting compensated within 24 to 48 hours. My family's being, you know, I'm helping many families. My family's being helped as well. I mean, I'm no longer having to wait 3 or 4 or 5 or sometimes 6 months to get compensated for my hard work. I'm getting compensated for my hard work less than 24 to 48 hours, right? And I love that, you know. And it just it's great to see that. When my previous IMO, they talked bad about how could I say, what is that, simplified issue policies. Well, we don't do those. Those won't pay out. Those are too small. Well, I'll take them all day, yesterday, every day, even on Sunday. It paid I helped over 621 families last year in doing that.
Right.
I can go to bed at night. I can go to bed at night knowing I helped all those people that previous IMOs, they were not willing to help.
Who has more impact?
Exactly. I had a bigger impact on what I did last year than I did at 8 years at my previous IMO. Mm-hmm. They would say those are the wrong clients to go see because they don't have enough money to invest. Those are the wrong clients to go see. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Unbelievable.
They instilled that mindset in you. So what did you do? You didn't really go talk to those people. But they need as much. They're closest to passing away, so they need you more than ever.
Yeah.
They need you more than ever, right? And it's just, that was the problem. And we just got to change our mindset coming over here, because now coming over here, we can do everything.
Everything.
We can do IULs, we can do final expense, we can do roll-up, we do everything, right? So when I come over here, it's game over, because I'm really sitting down with clients that really are requesting my help. Like, they filled out a form, they made a phone call, they did something to catch our attention. Remember that, even if it was a year ago, 9 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, or a day ago, they filled out some type of information for you to reach out for them, right? Maybe the timing isn't right now, but the timing might be right later on. But there's going to be a timing. Trust me on that, right? There's going to be a timing, right? And I just love it, brother. I really do. You know, and not only that, I mean, FFL is the highest compensation in the industry, brother. Highest compensation in the industry. Why are we sitting down on our hands on it, right? Let's go rescue all those other agents that are thinking that there's more out there. There's more out there. We just got to change their mindset and keep dripping on them, keep dripping on them, keep dripping on them, because I know what FFL could do for them, because I've experienced it firsthand. And I mean, I'll be honest, we've saved more money than we ever have before. And we've spent more money than we ever had before.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the exact same time, I mean, it's a blessing. And I want to share that with so many other agents that are watching this, that look, give FFL a shot. If you're looking about getting into the industry, right, look really hard at FFL before you look at any other company. And if you have, compare it, compare it, because I know that what you make your decision on is very important about your success. And I'm just willing. It's just a game changer, brother. It's just a game changer. So
It truly is, man. And to touch upon, what you were hearing before, those people don't have enough money. It's unbelievable to hear that, because if anything, those are the people that need the help the most, right? Because the backings, and it is what it is, the certain decisions that they made in their life didn't put them in a state of comfort, right? So the policies that we have is what they can at least hold on to, right? Something that's realistic, something that's affordable, that'll leave, 10, 15, 20,000 back for them. At least the burial part wasn't a burden. So to hear that is, man, that touches an emotion right there. That's nuts.
yeah, because
That's nuts.
I think about my mom, bro. My mom's 68, 69 years old, 68 years old. And I have a brother that has cerebral palsy. He has CP. He was born like that, and she's his caregiver, right? And I just want to make sure that, Lord forbid, something happens to my mom. Lord forbid, my sister lives there as well. I just want to make sure that my brother's taken care of too.
Yeah.
That my brother's not put into a facility. He's not put into a home because my mom or my family didn't have our finances in order, and and the house doesn't go into foreclosure, and the house doesn't, go into, they don't take, and the house doesn't go into probate. Right? And then my brother has nowhere place to live, and he has to be in a home. That I think about that stuff about my brother. So I want to make sure, like I said, it has to be a point in time, guys, where this business has to be more than you. Mm-hmm. It's bigger than you, right? And it's what the income and what the money can do for other people, right? And look, I've been broke, check to check, but we still had problems. We have income now. We have money saved. We still have problems, but I'd rather be on this side having income, having money, and having problems. And they say, look, if you have so many problems, but if it can be solved by money, you don't have a problem. You have a money issue.
Money issue.
You have a money issue, right? And a lot of families have a lot of problems because they have money issues, lack of money. It was like 87, 89% of divorces are
financial
divorced because of financial problems. And if I can be in that home and I can maybe help them with the final expense, as small as it is, but I can keep that family together and that those children can be raised with the mother and father. I mean, that's truly a bigger blessing than what we just did for that family.
Yeah.
Now those kids are going to be raised with both mom and father in that home. I wasn't. My dad left when I was 2 years old, right? But so I know, being for quite a period of time, being raised with no man inside my home. I was the older son. I was the man of the house for many years, right? So I had to grow up very, very quickly. So I seen the effects of having a one parent. My mom did an awesome job. She was the mom, she was the father. She did an awesome job raising her children. But at the exact same time, kids need mom and dad in their homes. And you can be that solution and keep that family together. As small as it may sound, trust me when I tell you, as small as it is, you can be that lifesaver for that family.
Man, and that changes the course of humanity, if you want to get that deep, right?
Forever.
Data says, man, and I love the whole money issue thing, right? You got a money issue. And everybody who's watching this, if you guys are in a financial situation right now where you're struggling, where you're not satisfied, you can change that. you can change that. But what are we willing to do? See, even when I'm talking to agents and they're not in their certain situations, we'll give them a whole blueprint and everything, but we're still not doing it. And it's a shame. When God blesses, with something like Family First Life, imagine what Sean Mike went through to make this happen and to lay that platform out for us to change the trajectory of our future, our financial situation, and not take advantage of it, be lazy to be up early enough to dial, right? Not booking enough appointments. These are very small, minute problems. And it's not a problem. We make them problems, but we're just handicapped to do that activity. And we're handicapped to do that activity when that activity is going to change things for our life, right? So it's hard to settle with, but it is what it is. People are people, man, and we love you all. Zeke, dude, unbelievable, man. I think, you started everybody's week off just crazy. It's a new insight to what can be achieved here. And if you guys are not in the position you want to be in, we really need to start waking up and smell the coffee. Like, let's move the needle together, Let's open this up for Q&A, guys. If you have some Q&A, put them in the questions below, the chat below, guys. Let's get some questions going to wrap this up. If you guys have a question, go ahead and put it in right now. He crushed it. Jared, remember your buddy Jared?
Yes, sir.
Jared, sorry, I seen your text last night, bro. Sorry, we'll be at the office. It's open. Send me another text.
But in saying that,
here's a couple questions. How many travel trips do you do a month?
Every week, 4. And travel trips I consider a travel trip whenever I have to stay in a hotel. That's what I
Correct.
Whenever I a travel trip for me is I stay in a hotel, or depending where I go, I stay with some of my teammates where they live. That's how far I travel, like 6-7 hours. Some live in like Northern California, Arizona. Like, they allow me to stay in their home. Right?
That's awesome. That's the beauty about this business, man.
And so they allow me to stay in their home, which I'm truly blessed on that. So I travel every week. But I'm starting to, like, the further leads that I have now, I'm starting to do those on telesales, right? So I'm trying to, like, scale it back a little bit because of the fact our team is growing so fast that I want to be available to the team, and lead them on, show them like lead strategy phone calls, make sure I'm there for them for any of their questions. So I can't continue to be traveling every week, 4 days, sometimes 5 days out of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be scaling that back to like maybe 3 days, and then be in the office 4 days, which is
what we've been working on. Yep.
We're working on right now. And so, like on Friday, which is pretty awesome, we had Good Friday service, and I had 3 scheduled telesales. I did one in the morning. I helped out a client for like $68, and then I had 2 others scheduled. And I called my buddy Rob and said, "Hey, Rob, I got two other telesales that I can't get to. They're already scheduled. Can you help me out with them? We're here." And imagine these calls are like 8 hours away that I would usually drive to. And I said, "Let's try it out." We tried it out. I handed
2 for 2
over to Rob, and Rob went 2 for 2, and we just split it. And I was just like, man, what a game changer, right? I didn't have to drive 8 hours for 4 appointments. Yeah. Right. But see, that's stuff that I'm willing to do, that half of the people say they will do, but you won't. I'm beyond. You won't drive 8 hours for 4 appointments. No. But I would. That's something that I'm willing to do. And I truly believe I think that's a game. I think that's a separator of being a Hall of Fame producer and just a 20K producer.
And that was, I was going to ask you that difference. Beautiful. Mark says, if you haven't had much success, how do you explain the opportunity of FFL to a new recruit? If you don't mind, I want to touch upon this for 10 seconds too.
Go ahead.
Mark, when you, if the success that you have isn't enough to show other people, it's not about just you, right? Now you start making examples, because just because a certain individual, a certain agent hasn't achieved a certain amount of success, it doesn't mean that the person you're bringing into won't, right? You don't always have to be the example. Use all the thousands of other agents who have, right? So that's the main thing right there.
And then you can also say like this, like, look, I'm maybe not full-time with FFL now, but I'm in a transition phase.
Correct.
I'm transitioning from my full-time job into FFL. So that's why I maybe work 2 or 3 days here at FFL, and I'm building up my business. I'm building up my team. So I'm in transition. And look, but there's, like you said, you can lead them to other success stories on YouTube. There's a lot of success stories. Just time plug into videos, share all that information.
People in your group, get them on a Zoom with us.
Let them talk to us, you know, whoever you want, like leverage I'm just going to say this. The most sexiest word to wealthy people is leverage.
Yeah.
They're leveraging other companies' money. They're leveraging other people's experience. Why can't we leverage other people's experience and success? And trust me, brother, it's going to happen for you.
Got it. Okay, BK, I see you. Evan, what's your advice for a new agent that questions the business when nothing closes in the first week or month? What's your advice for a new agent that questions the business when nothing closes in the first week or month? So maybe they haven't closed deals or helped any families in the first week or month.
Go ahead, Rob.
We need to get back to the drawing board.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, what's your advice for a new agent that hasn't been successful? I think he's saying, what's your advice for a new agent that hasn't been successful in their first week, their first month?
I'll just say this, okay? How many businesses have people purchased that, you know, that 50% of businesses last year failed, and these people spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars
and willing to give up their whole life to keep it working.
Getting all these big loans from the bank, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on Starbucks. How many Starbucks had just closed? Over 600 Starbucks just closed, right? And they spent thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on those, right? But they were willing to put up all that money, hoping and praying that that business was going to work out, right? And here, I mean, you're talking about spending a couple $100, $1,000, $2,000, and it's not working out for you. Like, we gotta look at hindsight, man. 2020,
yes,
like,
yes.
we gotta look
the words out of my mouth.
Guy, like, and typically, how's your attitude towards that, right? Like, why it's not working? I bought all these leads and nobody's. I buy 100, 200 leads and not one sale. I said, my mindset is like, go buy 200 more, right? Instead of having the poor mentality, how about having the abundant mentality, right? And going out there and trying, because they say, if once you stop trying, you quit. That's just the bottom line. Once you stop trying, you quit. I'm not a quitter while you stop trying, right? Keep going. I hear you, Evan. I cannot teach experience. You got to go out there. How many times did what was I going to say? Apple tried to bring out the new iPhone or try to create. I said they failed like a couple hundred times of trying to produce it. They failed. Yeah. A couple hundred times. And they finally got it right. But how much money did they invest into Apple to try to get millions? But they kept on failing. They kept on failing. They kept on failing until finally, after the 200th time, I don't read the story, they finally got the Apple iPhone corrected and right and dialed in And bam, now iPhone is the #1 iPhone that people use in the world. It changed everything, right? It changed everything. So, I mean, spending a couple $100 on leads and then not having success is you got to keep going.
You really got to do, because if we're talking like this, and the ringy thing, I'll get back to you guys. I'm gonna send a message to Zeke about it. But guys, if we're talking about the first week, the first month, we haven't achieved the success that we want. Guys, we're talking 30 days in a brand new business. And I think as the leaders, we have to have a conversation like, dude, it's been 30 days. What did you expect to happen in one calendar month? Right? This takes the failures. This, you've got to, are you dialing enough? Are you doing 400 or 500 dials, et cetera, et cetera?
I'll just say this too.
30 days.
Exactly. And I'll go back
We're
to
spoiled.
I would go back to what they said. It says like, anyone that opens up a business, brother, understands and knows that it's going to take about a year to start getting a return on their money. Okay. Anybody that, but what we got to do, Evan, you just got to start giving them, drip with them on FFL videos, expose them to like good results, recommend self-development books to them as well. Right. But they always say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right?
That's facts.
And the biggest enemy, let me just say this, the biggest enemy is the inner me. The biggest enemy is the inner me. And you got to look at that, guys. You got to look at that. And you also got to let them know what's required, what's expected. You know, you're not going to have everybody loving you that you're calling them. They're going to hang up on you. They're going to throw up on you. Stop calling me, right? And just talk about, and you can just talk to them about the mindset of making dials and what's expected of them as well. So,
correct. Expectations are big. I agree. Yeah. And setting the new expectations. Yeah. You are going to get hung up on this, that, and another.
And increase your dials by 30%. Whatever they're currently doing, increase it 30% more. And that 30% will get you over that hump.
More appointments fix everything. More dials fix everything, guys. The opportunity is here for everybody. It's a level playing field, right? Time is the one thing we can't get back, so make use of it. Everybody drop a 1 in the chat right now if you loved Zeke and that smile and what he did. Everybody drop a 1. At 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Shout out to Stephen Yee and the SkyPoint family, for continuing to host these calls every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And then they can also reach me at Instagram.
I was just going to ask, what's the Instagram?
They can reach me at Zeke Torres, Zeke Torres, Torres CEO on Instagram. And then also to Family First Life Powerhouse on Instagram. Family First Life on Powerhouse on Instagram. And then they want more information. I'd rather them email me. I get a lot of emails, so I look at that. They can email me at FFL Torres 316@gmail.com. I'd rather you email me and then I can get back to you, because last time I sent out my phone number, I was just getting hit up left and right. And
yeah, I learned that one. Yeah.
I don't pick up phone numbers that I don't recognize. So just email me at FFL Torres 316@gmail.com. And you can inbox me, you can DM me on, like I said, on Instagram, and I'll get back to you. So
awesome. All right, guys, have a blessed week. Thank you so much for everybody for coming on. You're already one step at the curve. We are starting quarter 2 of the year. You know what I'm saying? Look back last year. Look back how you started off the year, and do you want it? Is it going as planned? If not, tweak and adjust. And let's get this thing going. All right, guys, we're a family. We're here to assist, and it's game time, baby. Everybody, God bless. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, take care.